हमारे वक्त की धड़कन, हमारा चिंतन, हमारी भावनाएं, हमारे विचार, कभी कोमल बातचीत तो कभी इंटरेक्शन तेज तर्रार। तय करें मिलकर व्हाट इज रॉन्ग, व्हाट इज राइट। ITV पर अशोक व्यास के साथ इनसाइट टुनाइट। नमस्कार, मैं हूं अशोक व्यास और आज का दिन महत्वपूर्ण इसलिए भी है क्योंकि बहुत उत्सवमय दिन है जहां हम अहिंसा की प्रेरणा देने वाले भगवान महावीर को याद कर रहे हैं, जहां हम भारत में नए उत्सव के रूप में पंजाब में विशेष रूप से बैसाखी के पर्व के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। वहीं पूरा भारत जुड़ा हुआ है एक ऐसे उत्सव से जो लगभग 1.5 महीने चलने वाला है और जिसमें अपने मत का उपयोग किस तरह कर रहे हैं मतदाता, इसकी तरफ ध्यान है उन सब दिग्गज नेताओं का जो अपने अपने दल का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं। और इस ध्यान के साथ में जिस तरह के वक्तव्य उछाले जा रहे हैं उनकी तरफ भी हमारा ध्यान जाता है। और जैसा हम पिछले सप्ताह याद कर रहे थे, कुछ ना कुछ नई बात हर दिन लगभग कुछ घंटों के बाद कोई ऐसी खबर आ जाती है जैसे कि हम किसी रहस्यमय रोमांचक जासूसी उपन्यास को पढ़ रहे हों जिसमें घटनाक्रम बदलता रहता है। मुख्य बात शायद यह है कि घटनाक्रम तो बदल नहीं रहा है, पर सोच जिस तरह से उछाल ले रही है हमारे नेताओं की, एंड द काइंड ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स व्हिच आर बीइंग हर्ल्ड फ्रॉम दिस पार्ट to that part is very, very interesting to observe, and at the same time that makes people think where are we heading, where are we going, and in order to make people cautious about the direction that they take, as we speak, just a little while ago there was a special address to the nation by Congress President Sonia Gandhi, where she said that BJP's vision will destroy our Bharatiyata and Hindustaniyat. Now, to take a few more words from Mrs. Gandhi, she says, today our society stands at a crossroads. The Congress ideology and vision will continue to take us towards a healthy, free democracy open to the life of change and transformations. And of course she wants people to believe in her intentions. और हिंदी में अगर बात कही जाए तो उन्होंने ये कहा कि अगर ये विभाजन करने वाले तत्व, ये ताकतें सत्ता में आ जाती हैं तो उससे भारतीयता नष्ट हो जाएगी. So today we will be talking about Sonia ji's statements and few more statements, and all these statements in the light of accidental arguments, or they are really thought out arguments. Our panelists are going to share their views on the views of our politicians and political parties. So let me have the pleasure of welcoming first of all Professor Indrajit Saluja ji, who is helping our community with Indian Panorama. He is publisher and chief editor of this colorful and informative, insightful newspaper. And I also have the pleasure of the presence of Rajiv Kaul, who is serving the community in handling their financial affairs, and also you hail from Kashmir, and you have been keeping in touch with Indian politics as an observer. And I have the pleasure of welcoming Rajendra Dicchupalli ji, who is working with Congress, supporting Congress, and there is the Indo-US Friendship Chapter that he is working specially for. So I want to open the forum by requesting Professor Saluja to share his comments going to the statement of Sonia Gandhi ji. The general impression about Sonia ji's understanding of Bharatiyata, what would you say about that?
Ashokji, in the first place, let me thank you for inviting me over to this evening's deliberations. In fact, while you were mentioning Baisakhi today, Bhagwan Mahavir, I was reminded of the architect of the Indian Constitution,
Absolutely,
which is being put to test these in the coming weeks, you know. Dr. Bhim Rao, Baba Saheb Ambedkar. So I think
to add to what you said, and because I'm tempted to remember with all of ITV viewers that there is a special relationship with Baba Ambedkar ji of all New Yorkers, because Columbia University happens to be the place where he studied.
Yes, it was there that he studied, you know. So we have so many important events coming together on one day, and I'm tempted to first, wish all our viewers here a very, very happy Baisakhi.
Thank you.
And it's a very, historic kind of an event. In 1699, the 10th master of the Sikhs, Guru Gobind Singh, raised a special sect. And basically it was to protect Hinduism and to fight the tyranny of the Mughals. And that was in 1699 at Anandpur Sahib, which is in Ropar district in Punjab. He created Khalsa, and today, 14 they are celebrating. It happens to be the birthday of the Khalsa, that is the Sikhs. So I think you need to congratulate the entire Sikh community on this day.
So not only Sikh community, but all ITV viewers who are watching right now, who are with us, great joy-filled greetings of Baisakhi. And as Professor Saluja mentioned about Khalsa Panth, so Khalsa, when we translate, it takes us towards purity.
Purity, right. And also, Ashok ji, before we talk politics, I'm more inclined to talk a little about the social fabric and the social character of the country.
Sure.
Now, this day happens to be one of the most important days in the calendar. It is the start of the Hindu calendar. In Kerala, it is celebrated as a New Year. In Tamil Nadu, it is celebrated as a New Year. And a lot of, dancing, feasting, etc. And I am reminded in Northeast, just coincidence, in Northeast, I don't know about Kashmir, what kind of, how this day is important. But in Northeast, Assam, they have the Bihu dance, the famous Bihu dance.
Right.
And this is the occasion, for them also. This is the start of the new year. And it is all connected with the new crops. It is in this month, that the crops, come up. And then attendant prosperity is there. So people celebrate their prosperity at this moment. And that is the socio-cultural aspect of Baisakhi. It used to be celebrated long before Guru Gobind Singh created Khalsa. After he created Khalsa, it became a bit of a religious thing. So you go today to Gurudwara, you bow before the Guru, and you feast and all that. Now, I have finished with that. Now, to your question.
Now I'll come back to you because you gave us a very interesting perspective, and there is a sense of introspection. And when we get to hear about Baisakhi from Professor Saluja, and we look at him and anybody from Punjab, we feel that they have a special sort of connection with this festival. The same way, wherever you come from, we assume that you know more about that place. Now, taking this argument towards now, Congress President Sonia Gandhi, when she says about Bharatiyata, so now I go to someone who has followed Sonia ji and Rahul ji's footsteps. So Rajinder ji, the claim about knowing Bharatiyata by Sonia Gandhi, how do you think it is being perceived? And personally, how do you look at it?
First of all, I would like to wish the viewers of ITV have happy Baisakhi. And Ashok ji, coming to your question about Bharatiyata, I think, you and me, we can easily claim Bharatiyata, but a lady who came from Italy and then settling down in an alien country, for her to adopt and imbibe India, we should appreciate it. She's been a very good daughter-in-law, and this has been asserted by the former late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. She's been a good wife, and she's a very good mother. And now, probably she's the most successful Congress president, if you see the way she brought back the party to power in 2004. And talking about Bharatiyata, you see her. She's a very simple lady. In spite of holding such high position, she has maintained a very dignified stature and posture in public life. She's never given any extreme statements, and
So
she has imbibed.
I'm sorry for interrupting. We have first to define Bhartiyata. What do you mean by Bhartiyata? है क्या हिंदुस्तानियत भाई?
Actually, that might
Is it wearing a sari Bhartiyata? Is it wearing a turban? That is
accepting
Bhartiyata?
people
What is Bhartiyata?
as they are, accepting people as they are, and India is a country of.
Bhartiyata in the first place
friend,
it is a multicultural
yes, sir,
society.
absolutely. That's
And you have
exactly.
to accept the multiculturalism.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm telling
Like you do it in America.
Salujaji, for you and me to accept India, it's easy because we were born there, we know the culture. But a lady coming from an alien country to come into India and accept the Indian way of life and imbibe the Indian way of life, and then
No, that's okay.
I think
but the
that
question
has to be appreciated.
Mr. Vyas is asking is a very, that's very important and relevant today. She says Bhartiyata will be destroyed if BJP comes to power. Right?
Very good question, actually.
What does she mean by Bhartiyata there?
Exactly.
That is the main
Acceptability of every religion, every people, acceptability of people as they are. Not breaking across cultural barriers, breaking across religious barriers, and accepting people as Indians first.
I believe, to me it seems that since BJP is so focused on Hindutva, particularly Modi is so focused on Hindutva.
Absolutely.
That means you negate the concept of, you negate the concept of multiculturalism. And when you negate the concept of multiculturalism, you have no tolerance for other minorities. That means you are destroying Bhartiyata. That is what I mean.
I think that is the argument which Sonia Gandhi have, and how it is perceived by masses. That is our main concern. And Rajiv, I would like your insight on the way Bharatiya Janata Party is defined, painted, and then this claim that if BJP comes to power, it is going to destroy Bharatiyata. How do you look at this claim?
Well, first of all, let me congratulate our ITV viewers again on this auspicious day of Vaisakhi. I'm so far removed from India that I really cannot say or respond to your question as to how it's being perceived. What I can relate to what happens in US politics. It's very similar to what secular media in this country does to Republicans. What they try to paint them as they are right-wing nuts, they are kooks, they are going to destroy the fabric of this country. I think what Mrs. Gandhi was trying to portray is that BJP, when it comes to power, and she has every right to say so, and I think she believes it, but if you look at BJP's I think last time they were in power was in 2004.
Up to 2004.
And when they governed just like any other responsible party would govern the country, right? So I think you have to go by the record of the parties as opposed to what they are being portrayed as. I don't know what they are being portrayed today in Indian media, but that's what I would go by.
So where we will go, we will find out after this short break, because time kind of runs, and we are in the mood of celebrating, connecting with the spirit of Vaisakhi, and at the same time we are looking at that which is being shown to us by Indian leaders, which is creating accidental arguments. And what do you think about it? We would like to know. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.
To advertise in this show, please call 347-653-1309. When considering where to host your wedding banquet or party, consider the Lafayette Yard Hotel, conveniently located in central New Jersey. The Lafayette Yard Hotel offers a beautifully appointed grand ballroom with seating for up to 400 people and over 150 guest rooms, including 4 suites and ample, safe, enclosed parking in the adjacent garage. The Lafayette is truly your best choice. Call Ibrahim at 404-491-5674 or 609-421-4000 and make an appointment today.
Spirituality is the medium which frees our mind of all emotional shackles and temptations and guides us towards enlightenment and peace. Himali Spiritual Center is the gateway to liberation from pain, misery and suffering. Here, through religion, meditation, yoga, worship and gem therapy, all troubles are treated. Himali Spiritual Center, 718-887-2929.
Your eyes are the windows to your world. Trust your eyes to Malik Eye Care. This is where ophthalmology, optometry, and opticianry join under one roof to meet all your vision needs. Our offices house a plethora of state-of-the-art lasers and diagnostic equipment. I'm a board-certified ophthalmologist and a member of the American Academy of Ophthalmology, and also a fellow of the American College of Physicians and Surgeons. I've done thousands of ocular surgeries to restore vision to many patients. Consult our offices to see how we can improve your vision. We look forward to seeing you at your next appointment.
World-famous astrologer Pandit Baba Sai Ram is in New York. Pandit predicts past, present and future. Intending person can inquire about education, love, marriage, husband and wife problems, children, health, court case and many other personal problems. Pandit can bring the loved ones back. And also, he is a specialist in removal of black magic and evil spirits. Call for appointment. Jackson Heights, Queens, New York. Mobile number 646-517-8368, 347-657-3822.
वेलकम बैक, यूर वॉचिंग इनसाइड टुनाइट विद अशोक व्यास। हम बात कर रहे हैं भारतीय राजनीति की। भारतीय राजनीति के संदर्भ में जो आर्ग्यूमेंट्स आ रहे हैं, क्या वो सचमुच बहुत सोच विचार के बाद आ रहे हैं या वो एक्सीडेंटल हैं? जिस तरह की एक्सीडेंटल प्राइम मिनिस्टर शीर्षक से एक पुस्तक आई जिसमें यह सवाल उठाया गया कि प्रधानमंत्री के पास क्या सचमुच शक्ति थी या प्रधानमंत्री के पीछे शक्ति का संचालन कांग्रेस की अध्यक्षा कर रही थी। और हम ब्रेक से पहले बात कर रहे थे कांग्रेस अध्यक्षा सोनिया गांधी जी के उस वक्तव्य का जिसमें उन्होंने पूरे राष्ट्र को भारतीय टेलीविजन के माध्यम से एक भारतीय जनता पार्टी के बारे में सच सी बातें कही, जैसे कि अपने तर्कश में जो आखिरी तीर है उनको निकाले जाने का दौर आ पहुंचा हो। उनका कहना है देयर विजन क्लाउडेड विद हेट्रेड एंड फॉल्सहुड, देयर आइडियोलॉजी divisive and autocratic will drive us to the ruination of our भारतीयता। तो हम पहले बात भारतीयता की कर रहे थे और राजीव जी, मैं चाहूंगा आप क्या सोचते हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जिस तरह से उन्होंने परिभाषित किया है कि क्लाउडेड विद हेट्रेड एंड फॉल्सहुड, देयर आइडियोलॉजी डिवाइसिव एंड ऑटोक्रेटिक। व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दीज टर्म्स?
I don't know what's in Mrs. Gandhi's head. All I can say is you go by the record of BJP's politicians in various states. Wherever they are governing as responsible politicians, and their record speaks for itself. In fact, the prior government of BJP was a responsible government, like any other Congress government in the past. And, you know, I think I understand that in the heat of the electoral politics, people say things which they really don't mean. I think these words are just words. I don't think there is any, we should not attach so much meaning behind these words. These are just said in the heat of the moment, and I'm sure when she reflects on this, she will find them to be lacking in substance.
So now this is the way Rajiv ji looks at it, but I'm sure Rajinder ji may have a different interpretation.
Ashok ji, if you see what she has said, divisive politics, you know, the BJP's prime ministerial candidate has not, you know, basically reached out to the minorities. He's not made them feel comfortable. And minorities constitute a major segment of the population in India, 18 to 19%, I think. And they are still very suspicious and very uncomfortable with him after 2002. And also the statements he's made after the 2002 riots, when they went to him to have 100 more relief camps. He said, I cannot have these relief camps which will be child producing centers. ये मुसलमान के लोग कहते हैं कि हम 5, हमारे 25. I can't have child producing centers. This is the attitude of the prime ministerial candidate of BJP, Modi. It is very dangerous to have divisive politics because, you know, India is a country of many religions, many cultures, and many castes, all living very harmoniously.
Yep, yep.
And it is very important for the head of the nation or a head of the family to have the confidence and endear himself to everybody. So far, I did not see Modi displaying that character. Even in recently 2012 Gujarat elections, he didn't give a single minority any ticket from BJP. That shows his attitude. He will say, I did not look at minorities, I looked at all of them as Indians, fine. But after the 2002 riots, minorities are still very uncomfortable and suspicious of him. He has to reach out to them and make them feel comfortable. He has not made that effort. So that is a cause for concern.
At this point, I don't have a version of Narendra Modi to respond to what you just said. And as Rajiv was saying, if we look at the record, then since 2002, the way Gujarat has supported Modi in subsequent elections.
No, I mean not only Gujarat. If you look at other BJP ruled states, you have to look at the party overall, right? I mean, it's ultimately the party which is going to come into the power. So you have to look at the overall record of the party, and you have to see when they were given the chance to govern, how did they govern, and a record speaks for itself. I mean, nobody remembers who was the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh when communal rights took place. Nobody remembers when communal rights took place in Maharashtra, who was the chief minister. I think it's a club which is being used to beat up Modi. I do not necessarily subscribe to what Rajendra ji just said about camp or relief camp. I'm sure the statement is factually correct.
I can give you the statement.
No, I'm sure the statement is factually correct, and I think that is a wrong statement to make. But at the same time, you know, you have to look at the overall record. You cannot just use this stick. 2002 communal rights. That's the only slogan Congress seems to have. There's nothing else they have. They seem to be this is a bogeyman which they've been using for last 50, 60 years of their electoral politics. So I think they should, I mean, I know in politics, negative campaigning is the only way to campaign, but you should look at the overall record.
So we'll talk about a few more arguments that are going around, and let's connect with one of our viewers. हेलो ITV लाइव, आप टीवी का वॉल्यूम कम करके बात करें सर।
अशोक जी।
हाँ जी
नमस्कार।
नमस्कार, कैसे हैं आप?
ये जो शब्द गुण जो आप कह रहे हो
जी,
ये जो शब्द हो रहे हैं, ये एक घबराहट है, बेचैनी है, अपने मन के अंदर उनके अंदर एक बराबरी वो हो गया, हमारी परास्त हो रही है, हमारी हार, जब आदमी हारने वाला होता है उसके मुंह से ऐसे शब्द निकलते हैं। ये पराजय इनकी पक्की है, इसीलिए वो घबराहट में, बेचैनी में ये अपने ऐसे शब्द बोल के मन को समझाने की कोशिश करते हैं। यूनिटी में वाजपेयी की सरकार थी, तो वाजपेयी की सरकार के अंदर कितना अच्छा हुआ है, तब तो नहीं हुआ, अब क्यों घबराते हैं? देखिए ना, जब एक वाजपेयी की सरकार को देख चुके हैं, तो अब अगर मोदी की सरकार आती है, बीजेपी सरकार की वही सरकार आएगी ना, उसमें वो अच्छा करेगी, तो इनको घबराने की क्या बात है? अरे कभी तुम आओ, कभी डेमोक्रेसी है, कभी रिपब्लिक है, इसमें क्या घबराने की बात है?
So that's a good point. Yeah.
इसका भला होगा।
So let's see how our panelists feel about this interesting argument. I appreciate your call, sir. Thank you. So इनका ऐसा मानना है, प्रोफेसर सलूजा साहब, कि it is a sign of desperation on the part of Congress. And let me add another recent argument wherein Rahul Gandhi ji, Vice President of Congress, raised the issue about Narendra Modi's wife. In the political discourse, looks like anything and everything that they can think of, it's coming to surface. Is that the right interpretation to look at the arguments that are being put on the table?
Ashok ji, we are having accidental talks, accidental remarks by all our politicians.
Ji.
There are no issues that they are discussing. Modi calls Rahul Shahzade, and In return, Modi is given a name,
मौत की सौदागर.
whatever it is. Now the thing is, this time for the first time, Rajiv, for the first time you see rhetoric taking precedence over common sense issues.
Media is to blame.
So blame.
Please mark it, sir.
So
No,
accept-
but media is a
accepting,
watchdog and
accepting.
And it will be unfortunate that rhetoric wins. Very dangerous for a country. Very dangerous for a country where, unfortunately, a large number of people are still taken in by rhetoric.
So now, before I go to Rajendra ji, Sarojit sir, which side has more sort of attractive rhetoric at this point of time in Indian politics?
Obviously, it is Modi all the way. You see, his campaign is one thing I must say. Rather, I'm going to make two observations. For the first time in the history of electioneering in India, a campaign has been so well managed, well oiled, well groomed. You see, the concept of chai pe charcha. You see Modi flitting across all over.
Three-dimensional.
Three-dimensional, yeah.
You see Modi addressing people all over the world. Who else is doing all this? He is the one who has a battery of very committed advisors and workers who have put together an election campaign which is super duper and which is going to win in the ultimate analysis.
So now
and that is why I say it is rhetoric all the way. Nobody is a better orator at the moment on the national scene than Narendra Bhai Modi.
So now the way you are
The
saying...
party is thrown into the background. Nobody talks about BJP. Only recently Murli Manohar said, no, there is no Modi wave, there is BJP wave.
Yeah.
But then how many people supported him? It's all BJP. Wherever, Namo, 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 Namo. And they have created the magic of Namo.
So I come back to you, Professor Sarojit, and Rajiv ji, I would ask you also to respond. But Rajendra ji, who stops Congress from building these kind of momentum, or there is a basic difference in the approach of the two parties as far as reaching out to the masses is concerned?
Well, first of all, Ashok ji, let me talk about the myth of development that Modi is propagating across
No,
India.
that we are not discussing right now.
Give me 1 minute, please. Because he talks about development. Do you know Gujarat is the 6th in GDP compared to in India. Maharashtra, Bihar, and in fact AP with the Telangana problem is ahead of Gujarat. And
Okay, so
one second, in human development indexes, Gujarat stands 8th place, far below the other states, including Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. So what development are you talking? I am a messiah of development and all stuff. That is false. Okay, media management, yes, he's an expert at using media, but he doesn't answer media's questions. You saw it in Karan Thapar show. Arnab Goswami has been asking him for an interview for past 3 months.
You saw the Aapki Adalat recently by Rajat.
Yeah, he goes to friendly media. He goes to the media that is friendly. Look at Rahul Gandhi. He went to Arnab Goswami and Arnab grilled him and he took the interview. That is when you know that a man is sincere and a man has good intentions. Modi doesn't go to the media that is not friendly to the BJP party. He only goes to the media of BJP friendly media and he never answers questions that are very crucial for the people to know, that are very crucial for the nation. He only speaks and walks off. That is not good in a democracy, because in a democracy you need to answer the questions that people have. So that is a cause for concern.
So I think the interesting thing is, if you want to listen to the answers, you will listen to the answers. If you want to see that there are no answers, then you probably would look at it like that. And I think that's probably connected with where we are standing while we are looking at the Modi. So if what he says, we accept it as an absolute truth, then why is so much halla gulla about potential Modi wave, Rajiv? What would you give credit for that?
I think, as what Professor Saluja said, they have been masterful campaigners so far. BJP as a whole party and Narendra Modi individually, I think they have built this momentum and they have sustained it, and they have come out with right slogans. And actually, I think this Chai Ki Charcha was given to them by the Congress politician, right? I mean, he says chai ka banane wala prime minister nahi ho sakta. So they grabbed this opportunity. So they've been very skilled at grabbing these opportunities. So I'll answer the question what you asked him. I think as Manmohan Singh had been a reluctant prime minister, I think Rahul Gandhi was not fully prepared to take on the challenges. And I think there was a slight hesitation on the part of Congress in grooming him and to be the next prime minister. I think that was a mistake. I think they should have projected Rahul Gandhi from day one to be the prime ministerial candidate. I think they should have. I mean, I'm just speaking as a.
Rajiv, can I add?
One second.
Okay, go ahead.
One more call. Yeah. Hello, ITV Live.
हेलो
जी नमस्कार.
हाँ जी दीजिए टाइम हमें भी
टाइम लीजिए, आप बोलिए जी. अब अपने टीवी का वॉल्यूम कम करें.
जी नमस्कार.
जी नमस्कार.
सोनिया जी ने कहा भारतीयता भारत की हिस्ट्री पढ़ी है उसने. भारत की हिस्ट्री में कंस ने जोर लगा दिया था कृष्ण को बदनाम करने के लिए. कभी दूर था, कभी कुछ कहा. अल्टीमेटली कृष्ण जीता था. अब ये अगर कंस की तरह बदनाम कर रहे हैं मोदी को, तो जीत तो मोदी की निश्चित है.
So I think that's a good point for Rajendra ji to respond. I appreciate your call, sir.
भारतीयता की हिस्ट्री भी पढ़ा दो.
चलिए.
What is the?
Okay, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. No, in the context of history, he basically. If I
sorry, I was just adding something to what Rajiv said. Reluctant prime minister, he said. I find, strangely enough and interestingly enough, one determined man, and there are two reluctant contenders, one Rahul and the other Kejriwal. That is the scenario. And remember what Krishna said, it is the determination that wins.
Absolutely.
So now, Rajendra ji, you probably have determination to defend Congress at this point, and the viewer who called, he was saying that if you keep on defaming Modi, it's not going to help. Look at India's history.
Well, we have not played negative politics. We are an inclusive party. We take along every section of the country, and we work towards development. In a democracy, victory and defeat are a part of the game. But it's how you take the people of the country in a united direction. Mahatma Gandhi was a successful man because he took the entire nation towards one mission, towards one objective. I want to ask you, can Modi take the whole nation on one mission? Can he take the confidence of the minorities also, all sections of the country, and walk in towards one direction, towards the direction of development?
So I will ask Prime Minister candidate of Bharatiya Janata Party, Narendra Modi, to respond to that. And I guess he has done in some of his speeches, but someone from BJP would probably respond to that. And there are many more issues related to how media is being managed and the kind of impressions that we have. There is a new research finding that tells us who got maximum time on the prime time Indian television. So we'll share that data with you right after this short break.
To advertise in this show, please call 347-653-1309.
वो है एक सच्चा हिंदुस्तानी जिसकी प्रज्ञा में ज्ञान विज्ञान अंकों की विद्वता, जीवन शैली में संस्कारिता की सुगंध, विचारों में नए युग की धीमी दस्तक हो, जिसकी शौर्य गाथा में युद्ध की अनोखी मानव कहानियां, जीत में पराजितों का सम्मान, शिक्षित पीढ़ी में लक्ष्य को पाने की चाहत, प्रार्थना में निर्बल निसहाय के लिए पुकार हो, वो है एक सच्चा हिंदुस्तानी, जिसकी आकांक्षाओं में सबके लिए सुख की खोज, व्यवहार में स्त्री शक्ति का सम्मान, हृदय में देश प्रेम, इरादों में सबका साथ, सबका विकास हो, वही है एक सच्चा हिंदुस्तानी।
Spirituality is the medium which frees our mind of all emotional shackles and temptations and guides us towards enlightenment and peace. Himali Spiritual Center is the gateway to liberation from pain, misery and suffering. Here, through religion, meditation, yoga, worship and gem therapy, all troubles are treated. Himali Spiritual Center, 718-887-2929.
When considering where to host your wedding banquet or party, consider the Lafayette Yard Hotel, conveniently located in central New Jersey. The Lafayette Yard Hotel offers a beautifully appointed grand ballroom with seating for up to 400 people and over 150 guest rooms, including 4 suites and ample, safe, enclosed parking in the adjacent garage. The Lafayette is truly your best choice. Call Ibrahim at 404-491-5674 or 609-421-4000 and make an appointment today.
I am your immigration attorney, Michael Fulwani.
And I'm your immigration attorney, David Nachman.
Keep watching us, our program on immigration and you.
For the latest information, updates, and developments about immigration law.
Every Saturday at 8:15 p.m.
And wake up to us on Sunday at 11:45 a.m.
Consult Swami Manjeet Ji for accurate horoscope reading, palm reading, and likelihood of love, marriage, children, business, health, immigration, and court cases. Swamiji removes black magic, gives protection, and helps in removing various problems by powerful holy mantras and meditation on God. Free check of black magic. Excellent results. Call 718-358-2901. The number again, 718-358-2901.
Namaste, Salam Alaikum and Sat Sri Akal. My name is K.D. Singh Sani and I represent Sani Accounting Services. We prepare individual and business tax returns year round. We are also IRS authorized e-file service provider. We offer excellent services at very affordable rates. I have 30 years of experience in small business consultation and management. I will be grateful for your business and you will be our satisfied customer. Thank you.
वेलकम बैक, यू वाचिंग इनसाइड टुनाइट विद अशोक व्यास और आज हम बात कर रहे हैं एक्सीडेंटल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स जो इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स में चल रहे हैं। ताज़ा सर्वेक्षण एक एनडीटीवी हंसा रिसर्च की तरफ से जो आया है उसमें यह बताया गया कि बीजेपी और एलाइज को 275 सीटें 275 सीट्स मिल सकती हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इंडिपेंडेंटली 226 सीट्स मिलने की संभावना इस सर्वेक्षण से बताई गई, जिसमें कांग्रेस के नाम सिर्फ 92 सीट्स आने की संभावना है और कांग्रेस और उसके सहयोगी दलों को 111 सीट्स कुल मिलाकर मिल सकती हैं। और इससे पहले कि हम बातचीत का सिलसिला जारी रखें, और एक बात एक्सीडेंटल आर्ग्यूमेंट से राहुल गांधी ने कहा गुजरात का जो मॉडल है वो मॉडल टॉफी मॉडल है और इस पर नरेंद्र मोदी ने कहा कि उन्हें बड़ा होने में अभी देर है। पर एक बड़ी बात और आपके साथ करते हुए फिर हम चलते हैं अपने कुछ दर्शकों की तरफ। समाचार ये है कि सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी ने राष्ट्रपति को पत्र लिखकर एक मामले में जिसमें राष्ट्रपति भवन के पास कुछ 23 एकड़ प्रॉपर्टी का अलॉटमेंट DLF के नाम हुआ, जो कि रॉबर्ट वडेरा की कंपनी है, उसकी जांच करने की मांग की है। ये मुद्दा भी क्या चुनाव पर कुछ प्रभाव डाल सकता है, इसके बारे में भी चिंतन करने की बात है। लेट मी टेक दिस कॉल। हेलो ITV लाइव।
हेलो,
हाय, नमस्ते, आपका शुभ नाम?
हाँ, दीप्ति बोल रही हूँ मैं।
जी दीप्ति जी,
थैंक यू। और मैं वो राजेंद्र जी से कहना चाहती हूँ।
जी राजेंद्र जी।
मैं अहमदाबाद से हूँ।
जी नमस्कार।
और मैं नमस्कार। और जो डेवलपमेंट वहाँ हुआ है, एवरी ईयर हम लोग वहाँ जाते हैं। द वुमन सेफ्टी, हिंदू मुस्लिम, यू कांट इमेजिन। हम वहाँ से ही है तो। और आप ये सब बातें कर रहे हैं, लेकिन ये अभी रॉबर्ट वाड्रा 3G स्कैम, वो तो आप लोग बोल ही नहीं रहे। जो है खाली 2002 लेके आप लोग बात कर रहे हैं।
So I think you made a point, Dipti ji. I appreciate your call, and Rajendra ji.
So much, thank you so much.
You want to respond?
दीप्ति जी, मैं 2002 के बारे में ही बात नहीं किया। मैं गुजरात की जो डेवलपमेंट की मिथ है वो भी बताया था मैंने, क्योंकि ये मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ, ये नेशनल सर्वे जो ऑफ ऑल द स्टेट्स उसकी सर्वे थी कि गुजरात इज द 6th स्टेट इन GDP डेवलपमेंट, और ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्सेस में गुजरात इज 8th।
अच्छा, तो इनको एक बार और रेस्पॉन्ड करेंगे।
लेकिन हम लोग तो वहाँ के ही है, आप लोगों की बात सुन के तो नहीं कह सकते ना।
So thanks Dipti ji, appreciate your call. Hello ITV Live. आप टीवी का वॉल्यूम कम करें सर, बात करें। हेलो, मुझे आपके घर से मेरी आवाज़ लौट कर मुझ तक आती सुनाई दे रही है, और मुझे अब लौट जाना होगा, चाय फिर कभी पियेंगे ऐसा रखते हुए। सो ऑन दैट नोट, द वे आर्ग्यूमेंट्स आर पुल्ड इन दिस और दैट डायरेक्शन, आई वांटेड टू seek your response to the kind of issues which are being raised. For example, the issue that Modi didn't disclose that he is married in his previous affidavits or something like that. Right or wrong, but how significant it is in the context of elections and mobilizing voters to cast vote against Modi, Professor Saluja?
Ashok ji, I think we should be absolutely clear that had it been anybody else than other than Modi, this argument might have probably been damaging. This non-disclosure that he was married, and earlier he did not disclose that. But in the case of Modi, given the kind of stature that he has come to attain, I don't think this is going to have any impact whatsoever. I'm sorry. You can go on drumming it up on television channels. You can go on discussing here, but then ultimately, in India, the voters will not be bothered about his non-disclosure of his being a married man earlier.
So, Rajiv, what do you say?
I think what Professor Saluja said is absolutely correct. I think in terms of Modi's reputation, the die is cast in terms of the reputation. So people who love him will completely ignore this. People who want to portray him as something else will try to drum up this, but I don't think it will have any effect on the election.
Very briefly, Rajan, what do you think?
Well, whether he's married or not married, it's his personal issue. But I would like to bring to your notice one fact. You know, when the fact of Gujarat being way far behind in the country on malnourishment was pointed out to Modi, you know what he said? He said Gujarat women are malnourished because they are fashion conscious. So this is the type of attitude he has
I think I did
towards the woman and towards his own failures.
So let's move on to our viewers, and I think I'll try to do some fact checking on what you just said. But
it is a fact. You see India Today conclave,
Hello,
they
ITV
asked him
Live.
this.
Hello ITV Live.
भाई नमस्कार।
नमस्कार नमस्कार।
हाँ, मैं भाई से बोलना चाहता हूँ।
कौन से भाई से?
तो वो मोदी के मैरिज की बात कर रहे हैं
जी,
और वो मोदी से लेडीज के बारे में बोला है। तो अभी तुम जाके देखो, कोई भी लेडीज 2002 के बाद वो अहमदाबाद में फ्री फिर सकती है, शाम को भी निकल सकती है, कोई नहीं है।
Can you
और 2000 के पहले अभी सम एरिया में जाने के लिए, मुस्लिम एरिया में जाने के लिए वो हिंदू डरते थे, और हिंदू एरिया में आने के लिए मुस्लिम डरते थे। तो अभी तो कोई को डर नहीं है। सो मेरे हिसाब से तो उसने जो किया है वो डेवलपमेंट, वो किसी के कहने पे नहीं सुनो, वो जाके देखो और बाद में डिस्कस करने को उतरो। मैं तो हर ईयर जाता हूँ वहाँ, मैं देखता हूँ वहाँ डेवलपमेंट, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सब कुछ अच्छा हो गया है।
आपका शुभ नाम?
मेरा नाम रश्मिकांत है।
रश्मिकांत जी, आपने तो काफ़ी एकदम ऑथेंटिक वे में बात कर दी और राजेंद्र जी को सोचने पर मजबूर कर दिया और हमारे बाकी पैनल्स भी आपकी बात पर सोच रहे हैं। मैं आपको धन्यवाद करते हुए बढ़ता हूँ आगे। धन्यवाद रश्मिकांत जी, स्टे विद अस। हेलो ITV लाइव। आप टीवी का वॉल्यूम कम करें सर। हेलो, तो आपने फ़ोन किया और हमारी आवाज़ आपके यहाँ होकर लौट कर आई, बहुत प्रसन्न है पर आप अभी तक है नहीं। But so let me move on. So earlier we were talking about the way media is giving importance. So let me put this as quiz. In the first fortnight of March, who do you think got maximum number of minutes on Indian television? Was it Narendra Modi? Was it Arvind Kejriwal? Was it Rahul Gandhi? Starting with you, quiz.
As our Vice President has rightly said, the Congress has not managed the media as well as BJP. The BJP is way ahead in mastering the media and media management.
So the answer is?
Well, I would assume also with 10 years of anti-incumbency, the media would be more interested in talking to the opposition versus talking to the people who have been in power for 10 years. So I'm assuming either, and also then there's a new player, Aam Aadmi, who brings a lot of novelty and a lot of questions also.
So guess who got? You definitely have accepted that Rahul didn't get it. So out of Arvind Kejriwal and Narendra Modi, who was
I'm assuming it could be Narendra Modi.
All right. So let's move on to you, Professor. Just real quick, like a quiz. Who got maximum?
Well, I have a straight answer. I do not meander around.
Okay.
A straight answer. You can't beat Modi.
Okay. And you?
Well, I have the pleasure of knowing the answer, so
so you know.
I know who got
okay,
the.
So here is interesting data. Some media company did extensive research on ascertaining who was given maximum media time between 8 to 10 p.m.
If you would allow me to add something to it.
Let me give the answer that I'll tell you. So it was indeed Arvind Kejriwal, though he was complaining that media is after Modi, and it turns out that he got maximum.
He got the maximum coverage.
Let me take a few more calls here. Hello ITV Live. अरे सर आपके यहाँ से आवाज लौट के आती है। जी जी, good, I can hear.
एक मिनट और।
हाँ बोले सर, आप बोले।
हाँ जी अशोक जी, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार।
ये कांग्रेस वाले कहते हैं हिंदुस्तान का भला किया, मोदी भला नहीं करेगा
जी।
इनके भले की 1 मिनट में तस्वीर देना चाहता हूँ
जी।
पंडित जवाहरलाल ने कश्मीर का मसला खड़ा किया, कश्मीर का मसला आज तक हल नहीं हुआ। इंदिरा गांधी ने पंजाब में चंडीगढ़ का रफड़ डाल दिया, वो आज तक ना हरियाणा को मिला ना वो पंजाब को मिला। अब नया
तेलंगाना,
अब हैदराबाद में वही चक्कर कैपिटल का डाल दिया। दोनों को लड़ाने की बात करते हैं।
तो
और मेरी नसीहत तो ये है कि जैसे पंजाब के अंदर हिंदू और सिख इकट्ठे हो गए, अकाली दल और बीजेपी, इसी तरह अगर मुस्लिम को समझ दी जाए तो वो बीजेपी से मिल जाए और कांग्रेस का सत्यानाश अपने आप ही हो जाएगा। भगवान
राजेंद्र जी को बिल्कुल
इनको निकाल देगा।
जी जी, राजेंद्र जी आप
वो लोग किधर तरफ जाएंगे, वो उन लोगों की सोच है यार। यू कांट क्लब द होल कम्युनिटी एंड सेइंग मुसलमान पूरे बीजेपी को है। एवरीबॉडी इंडिविजुअल थिंकिंग, यू नो, एवरीबॉडी हैज इंडिविजुअल थिंकिंग।
सर आपने अपना पॉइंट,
सो दिस इज द माइंडसेट, दिस इज द माइंडसेट ऑफ द बीजेपी।
मैं यहाँ पर इनका
मैक्रो व्यू ऑफ द एंटायर कम्युनिटी।
मैं इनका रिबटल चाहूंगा इनको करना।
आपका नाम साहब?
मेरा नाम कपूर है, मैं टेम्पररी यहाँ आया हुआ हूँ, मैं दिल्ली में रहता हूँ।
वेल कपूर साहब, कैन आई आंसर हिम?
आप जल्दी
मैंने पहले भी आर्गुमेंट किया है, करें ये मेरे साथ कोई भी आके।
थैंक यू कपूर साहब। कपूर साहब,
कचहरियां भुगते, इनके राज में कोई कल्याण नहीं किया, कचहरियों में रिश्वत चल रही है।
ओके कपूर साहब, हमारी देश आजाद देश है और it gives independence for independent the right to think independently and vote independently for everybody.
उनकी बात
मेरी बात सुनिए कपूर साहब, मेरी बात सुनिए। आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि पूरे मुसलमान एक तरफ आ जाए, क्योंकि
एक्चुअली वो नहीं कह रहे हैं, वो तो ऐसा कह रहे हैं ऐसा हो जाए। पर जो बात आप आपत्ति कर रहे हैं ना, वो तो कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष से मिलने के बाद जामा मस्जिद के इमाम साहब ने कही है कि सब मुसलमान वोट डिवाइड नहीं करें।
No, I mean, but I don't think so. The whole community will vote.
मैं उनका
समय इतना कम है कि मैं एक और हमारे व्यूअर्स से जुड़ना चाहता हूँ। हेलो ITV लाइव। यस
मैंने अशोक साहब से बात करना चाहता हूँ, बहुत टाइम होल्ड किया हूँ और
मैं आपको कॉल पे लेता हूँ, आप बोलते नहीं है। आप बोले, आप तुरंत कहें, आप फोन टीवी का वॉल्यूम कम करके बात करें। जी
नमस्ते अशोक साहब।
नमस्कार।
टीवी तो मैंने
कम किया,
मैंने तो सुनता हूँ ना।
आप फोन से सुन सकते हैं।
नमस्ते। आपको एक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ
जी।
3 ब्रदर उधर है ये, राइट
जी?
हाँ, तीन ब्रदर उधर है। उनको एक क्वेश्चन मैं पूछता हूँ, जो कांग्रेस 60 इयर्स चला है वो अच्छा किया, मगर इमरजेंसी जो गांधी जी ने जो रूल बना दिया इमरजेंसी, वो इमरजेंसी अभी तक यूज नहीं करना चाहिए।
तो इमरजेंसी के बारे में बात,
तो कांग्रेस जो भी कुछ किया वो अच्छा ही किया।
थैंक यू फॉर योर कॉल। एक्चुअली टाइम बहुत ही कम है, इसलिए मैं एक और कॉल।
अच्छा सुनो।
जी
मुझे वो बीजेपी आना चाहिए।
आप आइएगा जी जरूर। Thank you for your call, sir. And this is the last call for the show. Very briefly, please share your views.
अशोक जी, बहुत शॉर्ट में बताऊंगा
जी।
मैं पाकिस्तानी चैनल देख रहा था, वहाँ पे हमारा एक इंडियन सिंगर गया, उससे उन्होंने क्वेश्चन किया कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर क्विज कंपटीशन, प्राइम मिनिस्टर राहुल गांधी बनेगा मोदी बनेगा? तो वो सिंगर बोलता है मोदी। जब मोदी का नाम लिया, वहाँ के जो पब्लिक थी उनके चेहरों पे रौनक नजर आई। ये नहीं कि उनको जैसा अफसोस था कि गांधी बने और वो ना बने। अगर ये साहब जो कांग्रेस का गान गा रहे हैं, अगर ये अहमदाबाद में गया हूँ, मैंने वहाँ तरक्की देखी, विंड मिल्स लगी हुई जो मैंने पहले कभी नहीं देखी। जगह विंड मिल्स है वीरान एरिया में। वहाँ पर लड़कियां, मेरी बच्चे रहते हैं, वो बताते हैं कि शाम को लड़कियां घूम सकती है फ्रीली।
आपका शुभ नाम? प्रभाकर जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है आपका। और आपके कॉल के साथ हम पहुंच गए हैं आज के कार्यक्रम के विराम की तरफ। बातचीत कभी पूरी हो नहीं पाती है और शायद बातचीत जारी रहनी भी चाहिए। सो वी विल कंटिन्यू अवर इंटरेक्शन, अवर फोकस ऑन द इनसाइट tomorrow also, but I want to especially thank Rajendra ji for coming all the way from New Jersey. Professor Saluja, great having you with us, sir, and
always a pleasure.
To you again. Rajiv Kaulsab, so nice to have
you. Thank you very much.
Most important, all those who called, thanks for them, as well as all of you who have made this program meaningful and enjoyable experience for us by joining us. Thanks, and do join us tomorrow. This is a showcase.